Come in.
Hello. Oh, wow. You really are a wolf.
Greetings, miss. Indeed, I am a wolf. I hope that's not a problem for you.
No, not at all. I guess I just figured it was just a name.
You are Miss Starlight Glimmer, correct? Princess Twilight's new friendship pupil? How can I be of service?
Yeah, I guess every pony in town knows about me now. I know I'm not on the schedule, but I was hoping I could make an appointment.
Well, it is the end of the day, but I'd be happy to take some time right now, if you're willing.
Really? I don't mean to butt into your personal time.
Not at all, Miss Glimmer. Please take a seat.
Okay. If you're offering.
Care to share what is on your mind?
No. I came all the way over here just for the heck of it. I mean, I only enslaved an entire village and then threatened all of Equestria with a time travel spell, only to be befriended and helped by the very ponies I tried to hurt. What could I possibly have any right to complain about?
Miss Glimmer, I cannot speak to your past misdeeds, but for now we can consider them in the past. I am only interested in helping you with whatever is troubling you now. This is a safe environment where you needn't fear any judgment.
It's these friendship lessons with Twilight.
Oh?
She's been giving me new tasks to complete, to get me to interact with different kinds of ponies in ways that challenge me in certain areas. There's always some kind of specific goal to aim for, and it's hit and miss.
It sounds like a constructive strategy. Did Twilight send you to see me as part of a friendship lesson?
No! No. She's done a lot to try and help me, and I don't want her to know that I'm having these thoughts. I'm seriously doubting how up to the task I am. I never seem to be able to connect with any pony on a personal level. Even when I technically get to the end goal of the lesson, the path to get there just always feels stiff and awkward. I'm just never sure if any of it amounts to real friendship or just friendliness on the surface.
Interesting. I take it this has been going on a lot longer than when you started living in Ponyville?
Yeah. And I've kind of had this tendency to try and control ponies' personalities with my magic in order to make things easier for myself. That really got out of control before Twilight and her friends stopped me.
I see. Can you tell me when this uncertainty of yours really began?
Well, I guess it all goes back to my very first fullhood friend, a colt named Sunburst. We were very close, practically inseparable. Or at least that's what I thought. As soon as he got his cutie mark, he took off to Celestia's magic school to do great things, and I never saw him again until many years later. I was alone and friendless once again. For the longest time, I thought I blamed cutie marks for that, but the problem runs much deeper, I think. It was more about feeling like any pony that I might consider a friend could just up and leave me like I don't matter. Like I wasn't worth valuing as a friend.
I can see how that would feel very hurtful. But you did meet up with Sunburst again at some point?
As part of the friendship lessons, Twilight assigned me to reunite with him.
And how did that go?
Surprisingly, it went pretty well. I was really nervous at first, but it turns out life wasn't quite so bright and sunny for Sunburst either. He actually thought I would judge him harshly for not becoming an important wizard, so he pretended for a while. But eventually, we both told the unhappy truths about ourselves. We were able to relate again after that.
I'm very glad to hear that you rediscovered a genuine connection from your past, and that you found the courage to open yourself up to new experiences. Although, given your current frustrations, I wonder whether this fear of being hurt again might still be affecting your actions even today.
It does. Reuniting with Sunburst didn't just make that feeling go away. Even after I got settled into Ponyville, I was having trouble connecting with ponies and completing Twilight's lessons. One lesson was specifically to make a new friend. No friends already made through Twilight's Circle or my past would count. At least Sunburst and I shared history. I had nothing to connect with these ponies of Ponyville. It wasn't until I found a certain fellow out-of-town unicorn mare named Trixie.
You mean the great and powerful Trixie? I believe I've heard of her, but never had the chance to meet her in person.
Yep, she's the one. She and I each had our own dark past, and we both felt like it was holding us back from who we wanted to be. Oddly enough, we seemed to bond over that.
I'm very glad to hear that you found some pony you could share genuine conversation with.
Me too. I was actually really excited because it truly felt like I was completing Twilight's lesson in a way that felt real. It turned out Twilight didn't like the idea of me being friends with Trixie. Something about Trixie's past she couldn't let go of, even though she said she'd forgiven her. Twilight started to get on my case, trying to push me to make new friends with some pony else.
Oh my.
I couldn't believe it. Finally, I felt like I was making a new friend for the first time, and the Princess of Friendship of all ponies was trying to get me to break it off. It hurt me because if Twilight found it hard to forgive Trixie, then did that go the same for me? Was Twilight even truly my friend? I had to wonder. That doubt is always there.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Starlight. I'm sure that must have been very frustrating for you.
It's worse. Because it turned out later that the main reason Trixie befriended me was just to one-up Twilight. Because I chose her over the Princess of Friendship. When I found that out, I was struck by the same feeling of being alone all over again. She didn't really value me as a friend, just as a means for her selfish ego. Once again, even when I was so sure it was real friendship, it turned out to be false.
I can tell this has been a deeply held struggle for you, and I commend you for your openness and honesty. You keep speaking of this difficulty with forming new connections and this nagging uncertainty about how you are valued. Would you think it's fair to say that at times you feel like an outsider looking in, Starlight?
Yeah, that's it. I feel like I can never get away from that feeling that I just don't belong. And the main reason I connected so easily with Trixie is because we both felt that way. So we weren't outsiders to each other.
I suppose in a sense you and I have at least one element in common. We both feel as though we're an outsider looking in. That no matter our accomplishments, no matter our friendships, no matter our dedication, deep down there's a part of us that feels we can never truly belong.
Wait, you feel that way too? But you've connected with so many ponies so easily. Even Twilight comes to you for a listening ear. How can you have any problems like this?
Believe me, I do. Though I would say our reasons are different, of course. You worry that you'll never completely escape your past actions, no matter how many times your friends have forgiven you. And I suppose being what I am, I'll always have a sort of envy I can never escape. Every day I see ponies changing the world in truly marvelous ways, and realizing that I'll never have that kind of power. Even you, Starlight, you have tremendous abilities with your magic, perhaps more so than most any other pony I've met.
Oh, stop. Clearly, magic isn't everything anyway.
Indeed, we each have our strengths and our weaknesses. And to be honest, I think I'll always have that feeling of inadequacy, that I'm an outsider looking in. And when you think about it, I believe most every pony has that feeling at some point. Whether it's wishing they could be just like every pony else in some way, or perhaps some past action they wish they could erase. You worry that each time you try to connect with some pony again, you'll end up feeling hurt in some way. And from what you've told me today, I can understand why it's been so hard for you to open up and allow even the slightest bit of vulnerability. It is admirable that you found the courage to keep trying even with those unexpected hurdles along the way, Starlight.
Thanks. I just wish I didn't have to try so hard.
Have you considered speaking with this Trixie again?
Yes, I already did. I really shouldn't have said her friendship was false. Trixie definitely still has her issues, but let's just say she found a way to prove herself the real deal. Even Twilight had to admit that. So, in the end, you could say that friendship lesson was still a success.
I'm so very glad to hear that, Starlight. Even with significant hurdles along the way, it's wonderful to see that you haven't given up hope. It is possible these friendship lessons from Twilight will require more sacrifices on your part, but from everything I've heard here today, I believe you have far more strength and endurance than you give yourself credit for. And I have no doubt that you will continue helping others along the way, even if you may not realize it at first. But if you're ever feeling a bit overwhelmed during the journey, my door is always open.
Well, thanks for chatting with me, Doctor. I probably shouldn't say this, but it's nice to know I'm not alone in feeling alone sometimes. It gives me some new perspective. Well, time to put on my fake smile and go back out and face those ponies again.
Fake smile?
I'm kidding, Doctor. Mostly. I promise I'll keep working at it. I may want another session, but next time I'll be sure to make a proper appointment.
That's wonderful to hear, Miss Starlight Glimmer. I look forward to hearing about your latest accomplishments. Take care. It's good to be helping.